homework last week. Here we go, recording. Okay, good. So the homework last week was from page 36. It was the top of page 36. Sorry, it was the week before. I did get 1 or 2 voice notes, for which I'm very thankful. And I think that what we were hoping people would do would be to practice lines 1 to 4, and that tonight we would then focus on page 37. So first of all, have I got the right end of the stick? Is that what everybody else understands?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can everybody see my page 36?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so I think what I will do now is I will just run through page the homework at the top of page 36, and let's just see that everybody got the right sounds, and then we will try to work on page 37, which is quite a hard page. And we'll really test what we know and what we've forgotten. I do just want to say, you know, it's been 2 weeks since we were together, and it's perfectly understandable if people have forgotten stuff. 1 lesson a week in any case is not very much, and it's hard to retain from meeting to meeting. So don't worry if you've forgotten something. We'll just remind you. And also to say welcome to Lawrence. Lawrence, you've joined us a couple of times before, but you weren't in from the beginning. You and I have shared a couple of WhatsApp notes. I know that you know most of the letters, but please feel free. Just pipe up anytime you have any question. So top of page 36, you should have sent me a voice note saying the following. Ça va. Ça bave. Ça vive. Ba sad and ça vive. Any questions about line 1? The word ça vive caused some problems for some people. The word ça vive happens twice. The third word, ça vive, and the last word also ça vive. But of course, the first one, that is to say the third word, making use of the vet, and the 5th word making use of the vav. So, ça va, ça bave, ça vive, basad, and ça vive. If no questions, I will keep scrolling through in case there are questions, but if I miss you asking a question, please just shout. Line 2, I'm going to read. 8. 8. Eat. 8. 8. 8. And at. So they really here are going to town to show that you can get exactly the same sound when you've got completely different letters. So let's just look at the first 2. The first word, 8, with an aleph, the yud making it a little bit longer, and the taf. The second word, exactly the same sound, but with the ayin instead of the aleph, and the tet instead of the taf. It's not actually the same sound, my mistake, because the first one is with an a, 8, and the second one is with an e, 8. Peter, is that what you're going to say?
Question.
Please.
You said on the first one that the yud is making that sound longer. Please explain that. I don't understand. The first one is 1, 2.
Okay. So just like the yud makes the e longer, so you said saviv instead of saviv. You remember that part, Pete?
Okay, yeah, okay.
So the yud has 2 roles in life. The one role is when it has its own vowel. It says yeah. It's an ordinary letter. It says yeah. Okay. When it doesn't have its own vowel with it, but it's after the e, it makes the e longer. So let's just start with this word saviv, which is the 3rd word of the first line. Instead of saying saviv, we say saviv. It just elongates the e. Instead of e, it's e.
Okay, got it.
Now, actually, it does the same with the a. But the truth is that actually that you can't really make the A much longer than it is. So I actually tell people with an A, it is making it longer, but it's almost imperceptible. You can kind of almost forget about it because it's 8, 8. But like when you hear it in Hebrew, you just don't hear the difference because A doesn't lend itself so easily to being elongated as E does.
Okay.
But so the main lesson of these two words is that here is an aleph enabling the vowel A, 8. And here is an ayin enabling the vowel E, 8. 8, 8. So here you've got the aleph and the ayin, both enabling the vowel. And you've got two different letters for the sound T, 8 and 8. And then the third one is eat, but it's quite long. It's an E instead of being it, eat. And then simply 8, 8, 8, and at. So they're really going to town in line 2 to show you, to confuse you, to show you that you can get a very, very similar sound using different letters. Any other question on line 2? Okay, so line 3, we move onto the letter nun, which is one of the recent letters that you learned, na, nun. And then there's also a lot of use of the t in this line. Nite, nata, nama, nite, nise. So again, that yud is making the E sound longer. Nite, nise, instead of nite, nise. You're just making the E sound longer. Nite, nata, nama, nite, nise. Any questions, line 3? Line 4, eved, viv, eved, David, ned, and ged. So let's look at them again. Eved, viv, eved, David, ned, and ged. So this line full of sounds, and then introducing and testing some of the newer letters that we have. Any questions on line 4? All right, so now if everybody is reasonably happy with those 4 lines, then we can work on the lines on the right-hand side.
What about the ones underneath? No.
Sorry?
What about number 6? Aren't we going to do those?
I missed something at the bottom, number 6. So this was this funny little thing that I mentioned last time we met. It's a little game that they're playing. I think it's a bit of a silly game, especially because some of it to me doesn't sound right. But Peter, see if you can follow me reading this.
Okay.
See Betty eat. Eat Betty eat. See Betty eat quiche. Eat quiche, Betty eat quiche.
Okay.
See Bob eat Betty's quiche. See Betty beat Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So probably the less said about that little exercise, the better.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so are we ready to move on to the right-hand side? That is to say, line 1. Are we all okay to do that? Okay, good. So now, I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Should I do line? Why don't I do the first 3 words on line 1 and see if I can get a volunteer for the second 3 words? A ved. A gel. A da. So you saw in the second word, there's first the A and then the E. A gel. A da. Any volunteer for the second from the word 4? Reva?
I'll have a go.
I'll try.
Oh, okay, good. You go, Reva.
Thanks, Robs. You'll be next.
All right. A nay.
Good.
Ana.
Good.
Case.
Case.
Case. Yes.
Excellent. Well done, Reva. Very well done. Any questions? Line 1, anybody? Excellent. Very good. Robin, line 2.
Okay.
Should I try and make it bigger?
Please. Sorry, I so struggle with the dots underneath to see
Yeah,
if it's
it's
2
true,
or
and it's also
3
because
or.
it's not the best copy. Just a second.
Thanks
just
so much.
To figure out, I just need to move the controls out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I can make it quite a lot bigger. It might not make it that much clearer. That's really much better.
That definitely helps. Thanks so
Okay,
much.
hold on a second. And sorry to not have
A little bit too big.
before. Yeah. All right, just 1 second. Let me just move this other bit away. All right, good. So we're on to line 2.
Okay. Sevel,
Good,
Sicha,
good,
Sachav,
good.
Sieg,
Sig, good,
Sela,
good.
Salah.
Absolutely excellent. Any question anybody has about line 2? I'm going to make it slightly smaller because I think I'm causing it to pixelate. There we go. It looks better. Good. I see there's something in the chat. Okay. All right. So that is line 2. Line 3. Well done, Robin. Any volunteer for line 3? Should I do the first
Alpha.
3? Harriet, fabulous. Please go ahead.
Nika,
Good.
Nihid,
Good. You've got the letters right, but just look at the vowel again.
the 3 is
Eh. Good. So it's
Neched,
good. Excellent.
Nima,
Ni sa.
Sa.
Good.
The
Ni
M
sa.
got a hole there.
That's
Nisa,
right.
Nisi,
Good.
Negay,
Good.
Negev,
Negev.
yeah,
Yeah, just the
Negev,
vowel is there. Negev.
Negev, and Na Chal.
Excellent. Now, you know what's very nice, Harriet, is that that line, it might be true of every line actually, is all real Hebrew words. So that shows you are really reading Hebrew. So just watch for that funny little 3 dots. It's an E. Everything else, absolutely perfect. So this second last word that you read here, Harriet, Negev.
Yeah.
Negev. Does the word Negev mean anything to you, or does it remind you of anything?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is.
There's desert.
That's
Oh,
right.
of course.
That's the desert at the
Right.
southern end.
Yeah.
So there you go. So real Hebrew words that you're reading. Very well done. Line 4, anybody? Casey, line 4.
I'm seriously rusty here.
That's all right. Just take it slow.
Male.
Good.
Mela.
Melach. Yes.
Melach. Ach, oh, that's right. Melach.
Good.
Okay. Macha.
Maka. Very good. You just got to
Oh,
remember it's the
maka.
hard sound.
Because
Maka
it has
instead
the
of
dot.
ka. Got the dot in the middle.
Like
Maka.
a bullet. Maca. Okay.
Good. Good.
Me. Sal.
You're getting there, but just give us that letter.
Cha.
What's the
Ka.
letter?
It's not ka, cha.
Exactly. Michal.
Michal. Like
Good.
Michael. Michal.
In fact, it's the it's a Hebrew name, but it's a girl's name. I guess it's like Michelle.
Okay.
Michal. So you'll definitely meet
Michal.
lots of people in Hebrew called women in Israel called Michal. There you go.
Okay.
That's how you spell her name. Well done.
I forgot what that one is.
Okay. Have you forgotten the letter or the vowel?
The letter.
Good.
It's-
And you remembered it a minute ago, and it's got a
Right.
hole at the bottom.
No, that one I know. It's the next one I don't know.
Oh, sorry. So that one's got a hole at the top.
So that's is that a t?
That's right.
Meta.
Mita. That's the
Mita.
Isa. Mita. Good.
Meta.
Good.
And mavet.
Mavet.
Mavet. Okay.
Excellent.
I'm
Excellent.
sorry, that was painful for everyone.
No. It's, you know what,
Not at
Casey,
all.
I promise you that everybody is battling along just as you are.
Yeah.
I can also see just from watching everybody is battling along. This is now quite hard, and you got there. So very well done. And again, these are all real words. Melach, for example, is salt. Malay is means full. So I'm just going to read them again because they are hard. And I did say to you, this page is going to be hard. Malay, Melach, Maka, Michal, Mita, and Mavet. Mavet. Well done. Even though it is hard, are there any volunteers for line 5?
Okay, I'll try.
Thank you.
This is confusing. La at.
Good, la'at. And
Oh.
funnily enough, the word la'at means slow. So your teacher will often say to you, la'at, la'at, slowly, slowly.
Okay,
La'at.
well, I'm being la at right now.
That's right. Well, that's the way to read Hebrew is just la'at, la'at.
Libi.
Good.
La ad.
Good, la'at.
Laad. Lama.
Good.
Lamed.
Good. Lamed. Good.
Oh, sorry, made. Lamed. And Levi.
Give us the first vowel.
Levi.
Vowel. Levi. Excellent. Now, actually, you did very well, Peter. And just that everybody can see that you're really reading Hebrew, all of us. So the word la'at means slow. Libi, does the word libi, anyone recognize it? I'm just thinking there's a song with it I'll think of the song just now. Anyway, it means my heart. It means my heart. I'll think of the song is somewhere on the tip of my tongue, but it's not quite there. La'ad means forever. Lama. Like you'll hear, why? Lama, but why? Lama. Lamed, to learn, and Levi, a Levi. So we're getting there, we're doing well. Now, what I'm going to suggest we do now is go back to line 1, because this is all hard. And I'm going to just read line 1 to 5 again, and then we'll see if somebody will volunteer for line 6. So la'at, slowly, just take it one word at a time. And I always think in Hebrew, the best thing to do is if you're battling, just take it one letter at a time. What's the letter? What's the vowel? Forget the rest of the word. It will come in sequence. Ved. Gel. Da. Ne. Na. Case. Everyone okay? Line 2. Follow and try and read with me in your own space. Say, vel. Si, cha. Sa, chav. Sig. Sela. Salach. You recognize some of those words? Salach, I have forgiven. You hear that on Yom Kippur? Salachti, kidvarecha. Line 3. Nikah. Neched. Nisa. Nisi. Negev. Nachal. Line 4. Male. Melach. Maka. Michal. Mita. Mavet. And line 5. La'at. Libi. La'ad. Lama. Lamed. And Levi. Any questions so far? Any of those driving you crazy?
Can I ask about the 2 chas? So the
Yes.
one is the C without the dot in it, and the other one, it's not useful to say that because suddenly it's a different letter, but the one that's like this without the dot, and
Right.
the other one is the one that looks like the house that's closed.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Circle?
yeah,
Can you see my
yeah.
cursor?
Is there
So
any?
it's like a house that's closed. As you say, it's like the throat that's closed up.
Oh,
and-
okay, that helps. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And the
here's
other
the
one?
other ch. Here's the ch without the dot. Neched.
Meched.
Whereas this one is nikah. So with the dot, with the bullet, with the ball in the tummy, it's a hard sound.
Mhm.
Nikah, as opposed to neched.
And the other ch that's in the house,
Yeah,
does that have a k attached to it? No.
thankfully not.
That's a chet. And then is there a qualitative difference between the chet and the
Chaf,
chaf?
none at all.
Okay,
None at all.
okay,
None
thank you.
at all.
Confusion.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so that's the funny thing about Hebrew is you've got to come to terms with things that either look like each other and sound different, or things that sound the same but look different.
It's the story of our lives.
Yeah, I suppose.
You're
All
right.
right, good. So shall I, any other questions, line 1 to 5?
Mm-mm.
Let me go on to line 6. And then what I'm going to ask you all to do for homework is to try and schlep your way through lines 1 to 10. It's quite a lot, but if you can get through line 1 to 10, you know, then you've really done very well, and then you're reading a lot, and then we can even probably move on to the next chapter. But let's just start with line 6. Kaved, Kalil, Kelev, Katav, Kisei, Kala, I'm going to do that again. These are all real Hebrew words, so very nice to be able to read them. Kaved, Kalil, Kelev, Katav, Kiseh, Kala. Anyone recognize any words from that list?
Kala.
Say again.
Kala.
Kala. Good. Now, do you remember what it is?
Right.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And
the
Caleb
Shira-
is dog, I remember.
That's right. And Kelev is dog. That's right. So Kelev is a dog and Kala is a bride. You remember from the Shiva Bruchas.
Yes.
Mesamech chatan im hakala. We
Yeah.
thank God for making the bridegroom and happy along with the bride. So
Kala
that's
Karkudi.
Kala.
And what's
Dale?
say?
Sorry, Reva, say again.
Kiseh.
Kiseh is a chair.
Yeah, so it's, I
So
reckon.
it's a familiar word to you. Good. Other questions? Any?
What's Khalil?
Khalil. Now there is I don't know the answer. It must be a real word because everything else here is a real word.
It's
But
Khalil Gibran's name.
Yeah,
maybe-
I also was like, is that Khalil Gibra?
maybe it is. I'll see if I can look it up. I don't know what it is.
No worries.
Klal. You know the word klal? Klal
Yeah,
Israel.
it's a good
Klal
one.
is a community.
Hmm.
So it might come from that root. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Other questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. Would it be possible to tell us what the meaning of these words are? It just makes it so much easier for me to understand.
Sure. So what I'll do on my voice note, it'll be a bit cumbersome. Or should I rather do it in writing? I'm just thinking how to do it. Let me think about how. Maybe it's easier if I do it in writing, but sure, I can tell you what the words mean.
Great, thank you.
Good. I'm going to read that line one more time. Kaved, Khalil, Kelev, Katav, Kiseh, and Kala. Let's do line 7. So line 7 is making use of the yud, the y sound. And in this case, each time that the y is used, it is used as a y. So it's got its own letter. So it's able to say its own name. It's not just serving somebody else. It's found its own voice. Yesh. Yashav. Yeled. Yada. Yachid. Ya'a. And again. Yesh. Yashav. Yeled. Yada. Yachid. Ya'a. Anyone want to ask a question or recognize any word?
Yo, yesh is now.
Yeled a boy.
Yeled is a boy.
Yeled
That's
boy.
right. That's right. Yeled is a boy. That's
Yeled
quite
is a
right.
boy.
Yesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesh means here is. Yeshli telephone. Here I have a phone. So it's actually a very, very useful word, yesh. Yeah, so there's some other interesting ones. Yada is from the word to know. Like you remember in the Yom Kippur liturgy, it says Yadui lifnei kisei kvodecha. It is known to God. Everything we think is known to God from the word yada, knowledge. I'll do it one more time.
One of
Yeah.
the first things that I learned about Yada was Ani lo yada.
Ani lo yodeh ivrit. I don't know any Hebrew. Very useful. Lo yodeh. I don't know. Very useful. Yesh, Yashav,
Yashav.
Yeled,
Yes.
Yada, Yachid, Ya'a.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know if you can see this, but the word Yachid is related to the word Echad. Echad, as you know, means one. Yachid means an individual. So you can hear it comes from the same idea of oneness, Yachid. Shall we do line 8?
Tamei.
Okay, so line 8 is trying to revise the tis and the mis, particularly the tet, which is the t, the hole at the top. Ta me, ta va, te vach, te vet, ta le, te ne.
Can you do the two in the middle over again? Because there was the te with the 3 dots and then te again with 2 dots. I got
Right. So te vach,
Mhm.
te vet. So the e and the a are close sounds. And
Which is-
especially with Hebrew accents, they sound very similar.
Which is which again?
So the 3 is an e as in bed, e.
Ah,
It's a little smiley face, right?
e.
Te,
Mhm.
te
And the
vach.
dot is a.
This one is te vet.
David.
So the 2 that look like 2 little eyes is a.
Okay.
And then with the extra little dot underneath the little smiley face is e.
Got it.
Let me just read line 8 again. Tame, tava, te vach, te vet, ta le, and tene. The resolution is not very good, but that's the 3 dots, tene. Any other questions, line 8? Let's do line 9 and leave it at that, because I think it's been quite an intense class. So let's do line 9. So this one we're using the cha, the closed up house, the closed up throat. They're doing quite a lot of that of that cha in this line. Chayil, chelev, chatav, chaya, chiel, and chayat. Now you see they've tried to be a bit confusing and throw in a little dot into the yud, which makes it look like another letter altogether, doesn't it?
Mm.
That dot is just incidental. Ignore. So the only dots that matter are the dots in the tummy
And underneath.
and the dots underneath, and then the shin. This one over here, this dot at the top, that also matters. But these funny dots that just appear randomly in the middle, like here's another one at the bottom inside the Zion. Really, it's just naughty of them to put it there. It's meaningless, and you don't have to worry about it. But actually in the Siddur, just once or twice in the Siddur, you'll find a dot inside the Yud. Absolutely meaningless. But don't let it worry you for now. Let's do line 9 again. Chayil, chelev, chatav, chaya, chiel, and chayat. So I think what we should do, any other questions? Any questions?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's leave it at line 9. And what I'll ask you to do for homework is page 37, lines 1 to 9, which is quite a lot. It'll take some time, and it's quite challenging too. You might have to do it in like two bites, but it'll be very good if you send it to me, and I really will try and get back to you. So do try, and I'll send out a voice note right now before I do anything else. And then I also want to say, what I'm going to do, I cannot find my physical copy of the book. For some reason, I just don't know where I've put it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a few copies from Amazon. They're all like secondhand copies that are available. They cost about $10. There's some for $9, whatever. So I'm just going to order a few of them. And then if anybody would like one, then I can let you have that. And I just want to say, there are things about the book that frustrate me, particularly the way that they describe the pronunciation of some of the vowels, I think is simply wrong. But anyway, I'll point out my worries to you, and then you'll be able to at least note them. But what is very useful about the book is that it just takes you through step by step. And in particular, it also points out these things that sound alike, but actually look different, etc. So I think it's a worthwhile resource having, even if it isn't perfect. And I have never found a better book than this one.
No,
That sounds great.
I just suggest to people that what I'm trying to do is I
Yes,
print out the pages you suggest. So I'm compiling my own book, and
yes.
it's costing virtually nothing.
Yes, no, it can definitely be done that way. And I remember Marion did something similar. That's quite right, Reva. But if anybody would like the actual book, I guess that's what I'm saying. If you would like the actual book, let me know now, or send me a WhatsApp, whatever, and I'll just order a few.
Lel,
Mm,
I've been printing out what you've sent up until now, but these pages, you could only give a JPEG, I know, because you'd lost your
Yeah.
book, and I can only print it very small. Does anyone have a solution that I can have it a bit bigger? Because it's very hard
I
to.
managed to print it bigger. I did. I did. So I think what I'll do, Harriet, is I'll just print it bigger and then scan it and send it
Oh,
out.
that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd
And,
be really.
for some reason, I've only got pages 30 and 31. I've missed the rest.
Oh, okay.
So we
Let
have
me try and send out chapter 5. Let me just try and print. I'm just writing my own homework down.
Yeah,
So
I can
what
print
I
it.
must do is I must send out chapter 5.
That'd be great. If you scan it, then it'll be a
We really
size that's
appreciate
readable.
it.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
I went,
Yeah.
I went on the Internet Archive
Yes.
because I have chapter 5, and
Yes.
I thought, well, I'm going to try and print it. And I could only print the page on the left, and it was very small.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
failed
I
with that
played with it
myself.
for a while, and then I did see how to make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's like this. I've just sort of squeezed it up, I've just sort of elongated it. But so it's not ideal, the resolution isn't great. But anyway, it's not bad.
It's okay. No, it's
Yeah.
not bad. It's fine.
The ones I've printed out up to now have been
Yeah.
perfect. But I don't know why I didn't print it after page 31. I've no idea.
So it's 31.
I've got up to page 31.
Okay, so it means you don't have chapter 5. So if I send out chapter 5, that'll help everybody.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Lael,
No,
I
no.
printed out all the lessons that you sent me. I printed them out for myself, and then I made a copy for Peter and Harold and Jacob, and they
Brilliant.
came out very nicely. So
They come out quite well.
yeah, they came out big and very legible.
That was from 1 to 4,
Can
Marion.
you send the original one, Marion? Because I can print. It's just to get it to the size and that, if you manage that. Is it possible?
So with pleasure.
I think
Thanks.
Jacob has been sending that out as well, because I don't know how I printed mine if it wasn't from Jacob.
Yeah, I think
The
I've been
first one
supplying
printed
Jacob.
fine.
Yeah, I've been supplying Jacob with sort of copies that I've got on my computer.
Yeah, and
But
then-
it's just that, Marion, I think some of the times I sent to you, I took with my phone, and I just noticed they weren't great. They were like at an angle, some of them. Anyway, so I see Peter and Harriet are keen on a book. My dad says that Bezos is spaced out, so maybe not
I
Amazon.
love that.
But I will order somewhere. I'll probably just order 4 copies, and then if anybody else wants, they also welcome. Casey also wants one. Okay.
Marion, if you've
I
got
can
a
then
copy that's big, then that you could share that as well in the
also
meantime,
work. Yeah.
Sure,
if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
pleasure.
But in the meantime, what I'll try and make sure I do tomorrow is to send out chapter 5,
Thank
to
you.
order a couple of hard copies. They do have to be shipped, so it does take time. So it's not like a very good solution I'm suggesting, but it's at least, at least it'll also be a reference for people. And in the meantime, I'm going to send out a voice note, and everybody do try and do the homework this week, because it's quite, as you can see, it's quite hard now. We're getting into quite difficult work. So it would be very good if people could just be practicing that page. But thank you all very much. Lots
Thank
of
you.
love, everybody. We see you
And to you.
Friday. We see you Saturday. Please God, we see you next Tuesday. And in the meantime, stay well and safe. Over to you, Reva.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You said it
Mel.
well. Nothing for me to say except thank you very much. And thank you, Jacob. I got into a panic for many reasons today, and it completely slipped my mind. So forgive me. Thank you. See you. Those of you who join us Friday, Saturday, you'll be getting the information, and definitely next Tuesday for the next class. Thank you and good night.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone. Bye.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
תודה רבה, שלום להתראות.
Toda rabah, shalom lehitraot, Lawrence.
Thank you, everybody, and thanks, Lal.